Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Melos Machina. We hope that you have had a fantastic week. We are back here again to continue our adventures in Jowdek and join in our adventurers as they have finally reached one of the biggest cities that they know of. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. How y'all doing today?
Good.
So good.
Good.
So good. I'm so excited.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
You left us on quite a cliffhanger.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I knew someone was going to say it, and
I got to get him out before I get in character. So
Really quick, everyone, before we get into today's episode, we have the big announcement that we always have here on Melos Machina. It is the continuing sponsor of Melos Machina. Ben, take it away.
Cantrip candles.
Hey!
If you've had your fill of Josh's puns, then maybe you can get your fill of 3 new scents dropping this Friday at Cantrip Candles in the new Feast collection. You've got Ranger Hawks, Rosemary Pork Pies, you've got Miss Penelope's Apple Tart and Cream, and you've got Friar Monty's Stout and Mapled Oats.
That's the one I'm like,
this isn't fair. Now I'm
They
hungry.
all smell amazing.
They're gonna make
So-
me want to eat them.
Yes, don't eat them, but they smell edible. So you can get yours this Friday, the 13th, over at cantripcandles.com, and you can use our code APAC to get 10% off of your order. So I highly recommend going over there this Friday, tell them who sent you, the Adventurers Pack, us, and also use our code.
Again, go to the shop, whisper APAC into the person ringing you out's ear, and it's not weird. It's how this works.
The lingering whispers.
Scare their new hire.
You know what retail employees love? Being whispered to.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
Yeah, that one.
back
I'm
to
so
you,
sorry.
Scott.
Don't whisper.
You almost
please.
released your breath weapon.
That
Oh,
is
please don't.
dangerous.
Expensive equipment.
So we're gonna go to
I only
every
brought the
vendor
one
and
shirt.
venture and just whisper at them.
Oh, no. Come back for episode 29, where our adventures have been banned from the city.
Not in this game, guys.
All right. Well, I
Oh, we're gonna
think
say this.
with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive on in to today's episode. So, boy, what is it?
28.
28. Here we go. So, when last we met our adventurers, they had been continuing their journey up the river back towards the biggest city of Venture. On the way with a couple of days to themselves, and since their time in Gladen, the first time they really had time to do pretty much whatever they wanted with no consequences is the best way of putting it. Our party continued a conversation with young Zachary, and maybe putting his mind to a place of maybe he's not quite ready to join the conservators, and that he might be able to study better more in this city. Additionally, Finn and Aaron uncovered a new vessel that the party had been in possession of the entire time. And after playing a game of nesting boats, they added the river dart to their collection. Additionally, Finn reached out to a contact in the city, sending a message of potential distrust and worrisome questions. And when asked what to do, responded with, "Keep searching." The days continued while our party learned about boats, learned about the environment, and relaxed until noon on this day. Coming around the bend, you found yourself at the Ricin Cliffs, 600 feet in the air. The city of Venture rested on the side. On the ship, Captain Tilston is at the helm. You can see now expertly maneuvering the lock jumper in between this island in the center of the Conderflow and the cliffs to your right. As you look above, you can now see this the tower on the island. This point is roughly 300 feet tall. And halfway up, you can see the globe of glass. And above, you can see the strands of cable that link this tower to the top of the cliffside, all the way to the lowest of the three towers on the eastern bank. Ship continues to move forwards. As you can see ahead, a dock that has been cut into the stone itself. You can see these to the right of it, two massive steel doors, 300 feet tall apiece. The first one is flush to the outside of the canyon, or of the cliff. You can see it raising up, and from there it cuts back deep into the cliffside, where the second door, again, all the way up to the top.
Are these cliffs more vertical or overhang, or what's the pitch?
Pretty vertical. There's no
my God, okay.
there's no steep overhang. It is quite vertical. As the ship is moving in, Captain Tealston calls out, "All right, Hutch, get ready to bring us in, will you?" "Aye, Captain." As he, Hutch actually heads below deck.
Sick. We're here.
Yeah.
We're somewhere. This is not what I expected.
No.
Obviously, the dock below have to ascend level 1 to reach the peak of level 2. So, have your coin ready. We don't know how they might operate
Yeah.
to and from. Dorothy, hello. Hi. This is wonderful, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
What's your first thought? Right now.
Tall. Everything is tall.
Yes. Don't be alarmed. There's going to be quite a lot of noise, quite a lot of people.
Okay.
Look to follow the flow of movement, and
Okay.
I think you'll find navigating a city this large as comfortable as any other you've been to.
It's good advice.
If anyone approaches you offering to sell you something,
Mm-hmm.
best not to engage right away. You don't know the quality or the purview of the business persons here. So keep your coin close. Don't take it personally if somebody takes an interest to you right away.
Okay.
Could just be business.
Okay.
I have a feeling Duathi might not be the thing that most people are interested in here.
What do you mean?
We've got Chauncey.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. That's a good distraction.
I'm just a yokel. Chauncey is amazing.
I know. Do we want Chauncey out in the open though?
I think we should bring Chauncey with, and if we need to stash him, well, we got a babysitter.
Oh,
I-
jeez.
Also could make him invisible.
I also
can do
could
that.
make him invisible. Girl.
I don't think there's any need to obfuscate him. You
Okay.
are operating on a business. There's no.
I know, but it seems to put people on high alert too.
It's true, we did want to be a little more covert this time.
Then perhaps what we should do is, find some place to stay and, get him a nice and... Does he like snuggly things? Does he get like cozy, or does that mean anything?
I don't think it really means anything to him.
Well, even then, though, maybe we still
But it's
make him kind of
cute.
comfy. No? I don't know.
Yeah.
But get him someplace kind of cozy to stay, and then we can go to.
Once we disembark the ship, we can just pop him on the cart, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I
Hang
was
and stay invisible there.
thinking. We could make him invisible and then put him on the cart.
What are we gonna do with the cart?
Right. Then we need Chauncey to pull the cart.
We should find lodging,
Mm-hmm.
find a place, home base. We can put the cart, all of our stuff that we don't need, just like we've visited any other place.
Sure.
Which do you think is gonna draw more eyes? A Chauncey drawn cart or an invisible drawn cart?
Probably an invisible drawn cart.
I mean, that'd be really cool.
Would be pretty cool.
But also, there's those of us who could pull the cart if Chauncey's in the cart.
Feels like a lot of work.
Captain Tealston or Claudine might have a better sense of the use of magics in Venture. We can get a sense from them how obvious or obscure we need to operate. But yes, finding lodging, we could also, hear me out here, proceed to store things with the Silver Palm for a moment. We
Right.
do need to follow up with a request of ours, and if casks from the Orchardist are heading there, we can offer to maybe utilize our cart to take it there, and that way we
That's
have
true.
some connections made then. And though it does run the risk of somebody wanting to use the entire cart. We have things that we don't want. No, to be found out. So,
Dislike the idea of using that as a way in with the Silver Palm. Although we should knock off the cart, you're right.
right, Claudine seems very sensitive about anybody doing anything
Right.
with
Them doing their
with
own
this, so-
business. Yeah.
Do we need to investigate secretly, or can we walk to them and tell them that we've been charged with looking into the orchard's concerns? What do you think?
I think it'd be better to not go with all our cards on the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like something is up there, and if we kind of, show our hand early on, it might kind of bite us.
Sure.
It did sound like the Silver Palm's been evasive about what's happening to these
Or
casks.
they claim
so-
naivete, which
Right, right. But we do have other things to investigate as well, so I think going in under the guise of business,
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
that's a good plan.
Okay. Then we'll just leave Chauncey for now and figure it out as we go along.
At this point, you see Hutch come up from below decks. He has 4 rather large, look like sacks that seem to be filled with what you aren't sure, but with ropes attached to them. He's got 2 in each arm, and they are about 2.5 feet wide apiece, about 1/2 to 2 feet thick. And he first heads on up to the bow on the left side of the ship, and you see he ties one off, tosses it over, and begins working his way back as he ties the second one off, tosses it over, and as he gets to the middle of the ship, you can hear this one have a nice thunk as it hits the side of the boat.
Right.
how is there a lot of ship traffic coming in midday here?
Looking about, you see very few other traffic. As you look across the Conderflow, you can see a couple of smaller boats. They look like maybe little personal sail ships, maybe a rowboat that are out on the river, but much closer to the eastern bank. But no other ships of this size. don't you give me a quick perception?
Love those. Not today, though. 7.
7. Yeah, additionally, you can see across the way a collection of masts that are hidden behind what looks like a section of the wall. The reinforced, essentially, bank that has been created on the eastern, like an artificial walkway, or it's like a boardwalk. That behind it, there appear to be some masts. You don't quite see the size of ships that they're attached to, but feasible that there's maybe 2 or 3 of a similar size to the lock jumper behind it. But you can see on the eastern bank where that boardwalk is, on both in the more southern section and the northern, you can see openings that looks like there might be places for boats to go in and out from behind this wall.
Okay.
However, as you are looking past, and now that you've made your way past the massive tower and are beginning to edge into the second quarter of the land to your side, to the side, you can also see far end what had been kind of in the sunlight and the angle of the curve. Looks like a massive bridge that is connected to the upper section and has a gradual decline as it runs down from the upper cliffs. A massive pillar, almost mirroring where the island is that you passed with the tower. It goes into the water. No island that it's attached to. It goes straight into the river and continues to go lower and lower until it gets to the eastern bank, where there is then a smaller tower that it is attached to. It looks like essentially a separate way of connecting the two.
I think as soon as Hutch is finished kind of sloughing off his work, I think I'll kind of just walk up behind him, tap him on the shoulder briefly. Forgive me, but Venture seems to be quite segmented. Is there particular names of neighborhoods that we should be aware of? We don't want to go walking in blind. And...
The upper section, we just call that the upper district.
Okay.
It's pretty much most of Venture, but down here at the we call this section over here is the river district. It's mostly where boats have a lot of easier access to. Hey, up top, there's a lot going on in the upper section, so you'll probably get the hang of it pretty quick. There's I tend to spend most of my time on the boat, but there's fancy places, there's less fancy places, there's places it's I think the main thing you'll see, we call it the Central Market. It's where we're going to be shoving off.
And is there persons in charge of the city similar to River's Mead? Is there an overseer here that we could?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do you happen to know who?
Nope. I know there's one. I don't do the politics here.
Captain Teal Synod is there. He's the one in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, yeah.
Well, okay. Should you need a hand unloading the cargo or whatever, we have able bodies and able hands. So,
all right, there should be people for us there when we arrive, and after that, you just get to get off and do whatever you want to do from there.
Then. After Viralock, then, is it?
Well, we'll see. Be here for a little bit.
Family in town or anything?
Nope.
Just not good.
I've got my place to sleep right here. how much to spend coin on when everything's taken care of for you.
Pleasant winds to you then.
And you. Captain, it's all set. Thank you for that, Hutch. All right, well, as the captain looks down, I think you'll probably enjoy this next part. Just, keep to the center. Well, just don't jump over.
We're looking at you.
I'm looking at all of you. No,
None of us have jumped off anything that high.
not while riding a moving vessel. I'm smarter than that.
Why are we holding on? I thought we were docking. That usually means stopping.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet. You'll see.
Okay.
Oh,
The ship has, at this point, cleared the island in the center of the Condor Flow, and you can see the dock has been carved into the cliffside. Has a similar tower that you saw right as you came in, the one at the very front of the city that went all the way down. This one seems to be more into the cliff, and if you follow it up, you can see at the very top it kind of peeking up. On the base here are a collection of small buildings, and one at the edge of this this dock that kind of leads into the steel door that is in the cliffside. It's like a two-story building with a balcony on the front. And you can see a figure standing out there, has been looking out with a spyglass, closing it up. The ship slowly makes its way, and the crew has been, sails have now been shortened to the point that moving much slower than you are used to at this point. Over the quick spin of the wheel, the entire ship begins to lurch around and turn. And you can feel the whole of everything kind of listing over to your left as the boat pulls a U-turn in the middle of the river. Captain gives a quick whistle on his pipe, and the last of the sheets are drawn in, where so little holding on to the wind. The boat is moving towards the docks, and then past the docks, it's now, the bow of the ship is in line with the steel doors. And to the left side, you can see the dock where the two-story building is. The man standing outside, kind of waving, and you are now getting closer and closer. So you can see the features of this middle-aged human's face. Little tan. He's got wrinkles, maybe from just a little bit too much time in the sun. And he gives a call out. "Houston, fair weather, I presume, huh?" Houston calls back. "Well, it's little bumpy, but we made it." And he takes a small purse and chucks it. You hear the cling of coin as he catches it. As, "All right, well, we'll get you ready to go here." The whistle of his fingers as you look down, and there are somewhat level with you crew members who are ready as two lines being cast off from the ship and caught at the front side. And as the ship now still slowly moving and crawl, the men tighten up the lines, and then you hear and as you peer ahead, the steel doors slowly open. On the inside, you can see this is wide enough for maybe two ships and long enough to fit the lock jumper. And at the far end, it's a steel wall with two large holes in it. On either side, it appears to be mostly solid metal. However, there is a walkway that as the door opens, the men begin to pull and pull. Slowly but surely, the lock jumper is pulled into this antechamber. Slowly and slowly, it gets darker and darker and darker. Eventually, as the ship is in, you can hear the lines tighten and creak. As you look over, you see that the two gentlemen have latched them onto large, massive bolts into the ground. Cleats that have the rope has been wrapped around, and you hear the tightening and a little bit of a as the ship comes to a complete stop. The two figures undo the lines, roll them back up, toss them back onto the ship, and make their way out. As you then hear, as the doors begin to close behind you, you just hear echoing a call from out back. Happy trip up!
No.
Where is Zachary?
As you look around, Zachary is in the back, just eyes wide, big old grin on his face.
If he was napping, we would have to go. So glad he's here to witness.
As the doors continue to close, looking behind, you see Captain Tealston stepping down. He has left the helm, no one at it. This is your first time in, so don't worry. It's gonna be fine.
I'm in awe.
I'm at a loss for words.
As you stumble to find the words, suddenly you hear water. Looking about, you can see the holes on either side and the front are beginning to spill water into this chamber. Not at a massive pace, but very slowly and steadily. The holes begin to lower, lower, lower. And suddenly, as you are looking at them, another wash of water comes behind. As you look up, you can see more massive holes that are on the upper sides till these lower holes are level eye line and then disappear beneath the water line. And it is just, the sound in here is the same raging flow of water that you heard from the when behind the waterfall. It's not the water isn't flowing violently, there's just a lot of it, and it is cascading into this chamber that you are in.
Is Captain Tealston still like around us? Okay, so the it's just the water is making us go up.
Mm-hmm. I understand the first few times they tried it didn't go great, but
Well, I could imagine too much water would be a disaster, but
Are these first few times recent, pre the date?
oh, I think they've been doing this for years now. So I mean, they had to figure out how to get the ships from down there to up there.
All this has been built after the Age of Enclosure.
Hmm.
This is magnificent.
Yeah.
This is a lot of metal.
Was listen, those order folks, they got some good thinkers in there and some good designers. And really seeing stuff like this, it makes you realize why that whole the worshipping of machine came to be.
Right.
Is this purely mechanical, or is there magic involved?
That's beyond me.
Sure. It's probably beyond me too.
As I look up, is there a ceiling that we're going
It
to?
is, as you look up, it is clear open sky.
Oh, okay.
The darkness that you're in, it's dim light, but purely because there's no way for the sun to catch light.
Mm-hmm.
Rising up and up now, at least having gone up 50 feet, 60, 70.
Are we going all the way up?
It's a two-part. Once we this is the first jump up, and then from there, we
Lock jumper.
yeah.
No.
I thought it was apropos.
Clever.
But I believe this was actually the first ship to do it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wha-
Well, it wasn't mine at the time, but
You inherited quite a legacy.
I did.
Waffle, you're gonna catch a bug in your mouth. I mean, it's.
I don't think there are any bugs in here.
I don't know. Your mouth must be very dry for as long as it's been open.
I-
I don't get where we are.
I'm looking at where we are.
I'm gonna run over to Zachary and just be like, it's like
so
what
cool,
you
right?
made, but with water and a boat.
This is amazing.
We have to figure out who to talk to
Do you-
about
So,
this.
do you think that they do? Is there a pump system, or do you think that there's people back there who can, like, with that water?
It can't just be me.
That'd be a lot of people, and
just pouring buckets of water.
I meant more like
No, I
making
know, but,
water.
like-
God, could you imagine water? No.
We're gonna have to find who to talk to about this.
We are. Okay, I know we were joking, but do you think buckets of water is how they did the first one?
I mean, maybe until they figured out how much
be.
water they use. Captain Tealston said that it did not go well the first couple, and I think it was too much water.
Too much water.
I think that's what, because if you put too much in, then it'll overflow. It'll be too much for the boat.
Get sucked down. I
Yeah.
don't think we could capsize in here because
No,
the
but
mass would just
it would
rattle
just be-
around and
Wet.
yeah, be really wet. And it's like it's
So
already
we'll-
deep.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of
Yeah.
water down there. Okay, and at this point, as he goes to keep talking, there's just a rush of as another layer of piping is passing your ear levels. And now a little glint of sun is beginning to catch in as you rise up and up. Maybe about 20 feet beneath the top of the steel doors. As you can now see the flat metal of what is ahead of you now begins to have a seam in the center. It's the start of the second inner door.
This is remarkable.
You stop rising.
What?
So we have open sky, and we're 20 feet below the doors behind us.
Mhm.
Or, yeah, okay. So we can't see out from there. We're in a metal box.
A little bit, yeah. There's
But with
still
the top.
300 plus on cliff now on either side.
Yeah.
How
Is it
many channels are there that go up and down here from River District? Oh,
Are you asking the captain?
Yeah.
Well, this is just the one. Just the one. No, this is the one way in and out. There's a few ways on foot to get to the river district.
Towers and such.
Exactly.
Right.
There's the Skytram up north, and then there's the bridge over there to the south. And
This makes sense. It feels like something you build once.
yeah, couldn't imagine doing this a second time.
Couldn't imagine doing it first.
Yeah, fair. With that, you then hear as the steel doors ahead begin to open, and you see essentially a mirror to the room that you had entered in beneath. As the doors opening, there is already a deep layer of water in the base. And as the doors open, there's a moment where nothing is happening. Then a sudden gentle lurch forward as you look back, and you can see the water has been kind of pushed forward and the ship gently drifts in.
Did it seem like that push forward came from like a mechanical, like a pressure plate or something?
Yeah, me
You
too.
didn't hear any like machinery moving. All you felt was it was
The water.
yeah, it was similar to when you would feel the swells and wake in the smaller boats. So whatever it was, there was just a gentle wake that was created.
But still something created.
This is too cool.
I mean, there's some remarkable feats of engineering in Sarah's Mina, but nothing like this.
And you can see up at the bow that, taking all of this in, Hutch has climbed onto the bowsprit, the pole at the very end of the ship, and is there, kind of a large, thick stick.
Oh.
And as the boat gets closer and closer, he leans to the point that, without catching the wall, he would fall in. But puts his whole weight as the boat slowly pushes him back up into place, and he takes a very trained step back and back and back, as if walking like a tightrope. And slowly the ship comes to a stop. The doors. And the rush of water as you again begin to raise higher and higher.
What? There's two. So we went up, and then we moved forward, and now we're going up again?
Never thought I'd be able to say I sailed up this cliff.
I run, like, I'm back with the group, and it takes everything in me not to, like, grab Captain Tealston by the lapels. And I just go, who made this? Who do I talk to?
Okay. This I don't know who the designer was, but all I know is this was an order thing. Typically, anything big and mechanical like this, I just assume it's from them.
We're gonna have to message Delgin.
Okay.
Because he will know.
I can do that
And
today.
I need to know.
It has to be the conservators.
Right, he will know.
Yeah.
If the order was involved, he will know.
Have I ever crossed paths with Maester Delgin in my time at the Aethergog? Would I know who he is or what he looks like?
Give me a history check.
Cool.
No way.
All whammies.
All the
No
Nothing but
whammy.
whammies.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my god.
For a
Like
total,
all the
Scott,
opposite.
of 27.
Oh my gosh.
Jeebus.
The highest roll I think we've had so
Not
far.
only does he know Delgin, they're best friends.
It's the highest roll without pass without trace.
Yeah.
We had some high rolls there.
So Maester Delgin, you know, is the head of the conservators in the Aethergog. He's the sort of the equivalent to Ivic. Let me make sure I did the name right. To the Maester Ivic.
Yeah.
And whereas Ivic is in charge of the entire Aethergog, he is also the head of specifically the Lore Keepers, whereas Delgin is just in charge of the Conservators. A lot more of the he would teach people the care and the repair of machinery, and it's a genius smith in his time.
I'll write out a message to send.
Right, yes, we do have to be efficient with our words, but
Okay.
we can definitely do this
Okay,
today.
thank
And
you.
I'm excited to know too.
I must know, and then I must tell Zachary, and it'll be great.
We don't want to say anything about Zachary in this message, or just
Oh.
keep it about the locks.
Let's wait. I'll wait until I see him.
Sure. You can do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. And I just start furiously
And
writing.
Andy's excitement is like contagious for Finn. Like his energy starts to buzz too. Just happening this shared connection. This is more than I ever expected to see outside the cities.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, we're not done. What else happens?
Just wait till we get to the top.
I'll see Dorothy is still kind of, and I'll put my hand on her shoulder and just be like, how are you? I'm freaking, how are you doing?
I thought.
It's a lot to absorb.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very big.
Very big.
Very deep.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Not so very big.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. If you need to talk anything out, let me know. Okay. I'll go back to writing.
This whole time I'm also like with the mage hand just kind of sketching all of the mechanisms I see, trying to get a rough just like outline of where we are, what we're inside of.
Absolutely. Ship continues to rise. You can see light hit the top of the mast, slowly cascade down. The ship rises higher and higher. Till eventually, you can see on either side the hints of buildings. And you can see folks walking about, and you hear, barely over the roar of the continuing fill of water, sounds of civilization. And as the ship climbs higher and higher, you can see the gate that you had, that is to the bow. As you come higher and higher, lowers past the 20-foot, past the 10. And looking through, you can now see a bridgeway on this gate as it is closed, and people eagerly running across to clear it. Behind you, a similar bridgeway where the stern gate is. To either side, two large buildings that peer down. You can see a couple of folks on either side shouting commands inwards to the inside on balconies, similar to the structure at the base in the harbor. Beyond this, directly ahead of you, across the bridgeway, you see a large open bay, all man-made. And at the edge of the bay, rows of houses, beyond them houses, beyond them more structures. As they curve along, you can see then that it turns into shops and taverns and inns. As the bay stretches to the right, you can then see that it curves into a small riverway, both slightly big enough to carry the lock jumper. To the left, you can then see the bay wraps around, and there is fancier houses. Looks like maybe an upper class district, or perhaps a political district, with a small sort of dock area for personal vehicles. As far as personal vehicles go, you can see lots of little rowboats moving through. It seems a lot of people travel via these waterways. And to the left, you see a waterway heading back in, both deep into the city and farther away to the left. Far back, you can see a massive domed structure raising over. As you look around, you can see multiple large structures, cathedrals, massive places of worship, perhaps schools. All in all, the city is vast. And then as the ship stops raising, the bridgeway splits and it opens. And as it does, there's a soft whistle behind you. Turn, you see Captain Tealston back up at the helm as his son Jeffrin lets loose a little bit of sail, and the ship pulls forward into this small bay.
I'd like to look behind us. Like, head to the back of the boat.
Mhm.
Can you see from up there? Can you see the river?
From where you are, no. It is clear, open skies, and then eventually land, but it is far off into the distance.
Welcome to adventure, I guess.
I guess.
How is Lady Elaine reacting to all of us reacting? Just out of curiosity.
These are great.
It appears as though the Lady Elaine is no longer amongst you.
She must have seen this 100 times.
Do you think she does not want to be located disembarking after the events that unfolded a couple nights ago?
I don't know.
She just might not be up here.
Okay. Well, we can talk to her as we disembark.
If there's a free moment when Captain walks by, I just want to ask him, like, where should we find lodging? What are the highlights? Like,
Well, at the moment, the captain is very much at the
Okay,
helm
gotcha.
and taking the ship in. It cuts into the right of the city and follows the wider of the two paths, but you do see that it starts to narrow and narrow. A couple of the smaller boats. You can see a couple personal craft that have a small sail that are kind of skittering away. You see one moving at a fairly decent pace. It's just a single person sitting in it, or legs crossed in the middle as it kind of skids across the water with no sign of him rowing it at all.
I had no idea anything of this size existed outside of the cities. I'm blown away.
Yeah, it's stunning in a very different way than Gladen was.
Yeah, and different than Sarasmina in a lot of ways.
How does this feel compared to Saros Manor? Like, what vibe does it give off?
Sure. From your time there, as large as this is, it is still nothing compared to the size of Saros Manor. But it feels so much more open. As you recall, a lot of the city feeling a lot more compact, and sections of it being more of a push as much together as possible, whereas then other sections were designed to be compact but more efficient at it. Whereas this is open to the air. The tallest structures that you see here are maybe 4 stories tall.
Wow.
As opposed to Saros Manor, that many of the buildings would tower and up to the edges of the walls.
And they're all just along this bay. All of these buildings.
Most of the buildings along the bay are 1 to 2 stories. It looks like a lot of the larger ones are farther away.
Are there any like single constructions in Saros Manor as grand as this lock chamber?
Yes. A few things come to mind as far as as grand structures of technology. One being the famous rail system.
Sure.
But that one much more of has also a religious weight to it for what it is. But then there are also the walls themselves, which compared to the walls of this city that you had seen down at the docks, that grow maybe 2 stories. The walls of Saros Manor were much, much taller. You recall seeing them. They were roughly 20 stories tall.
Got it. Still not quite as tall as this lock, all said.
Yeah, it would... Yeah, the racing cliffs are significantly taller.
Like
than-
60 stories.
Yes.
Yeah, still very impressive. And all the way out here.
It's like looking at the Order's first child. Think of it.
It's one way to put it, so...
Clearly, there's been an enormous amount of dedication and care given to the expansion and the productivity of the city. Compared to Riversmeet and Gladen, they don't seem to have the dedication. I think it's the only word that I can think of right now. However, there's something about reminding people of first. This was the first city to be established, and it has, well, maintained and expanded upon that initial idea.
I never knew. I always thought of the 3 walled cities as the children. So maybe that makes this the first grandchild. I had no idea there.
I mean, no matter what, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine Upstrom wanting to ever be something like this.
I just kind of assumed all of the towns out here were like Riversmeet and Gladen, small, local, nestled in.
A lot of them are, but each one has its own spirit and
Clearly.
yeah. Feeling overwhelmed?
I suppose.
Don't go wandering off, no one, okay? This is not the town to get lost in. Should we get separated, I could reach out magically, possibly within a few hundred feet or so. So, but just
Let's stay together.
yeah.
Right. If we do happen to get separated, we'll come back to the bay. Seems central. And, I completely forgot about Chauncey on the ride up. That feels less conspicuous, considering.
I mean, still indicative of what I or we do, but it's yeah.
Right.
Would Chauncey be normal in Sheriff's Manor? Or more normal?
No, I mean, sort of, but he's conspicuous everywhere, I think.
But at least in Sarasmina, that is where the conservators are housed
Right, so
and
there are
homed, so,
more of us.
like, being out with Chauncey in Sarasmina wouldn't necessarily mean official order of business.
No, that's
But,
true.
yeah, here it's okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's more odd, I guess.
Do all conservators have a Chauncey?
I don't. Above table, not necessarily.
But all Chaunceys have a concern.
Beautiful.
All the legal ones.
Yeah.
Not all conservators have mechanical companions like you.
Right.
But all conservators, in one way or another, have they have an intense knowledge of machinery
Right.
and its well-being.
Right.
But you do know you are not the only conservator.
Right. It's not rare, but not everybody has one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is it typically the ones on field assignment have them, or that what I know?
You aren't sure because you hadn't really you stuck with the lore keepers for the most part.
The one I know does.
But you do look at exactly. You do know, however, that there were conservators that were working at the Atergog who had similar animalistic companions.
Right.
But
Delgin doesn't have one.
no, Delgin does
Yeah.
not have one.
Okay.
The one that does kind of stick out the most to you, someone did have a mechanical snake that. Yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, not everyone. People do, but it's not rare, but it's not necessary. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do they all have names?
Did the snake have a name?
You did not ever.
I wasn't friends with this person.
You didn't muster up the like, "Hey, can I talk to your snake?"
I
Hey, can
don't
I talk to your snake?
know. I don't know.
Apparently, it was weird for me to give my spellbook a name. That's when I decided.
Yeah, it was
to
probably weird for me to give Chauncey a name, but I don't know.
I stopped sharing what Pal does after that.
Yeah.
So, invisible cart or Chauncey cart?
I think Chauncey's
Chauncey.
part.
Sure.
We can always stash him away, and
Yeah,
we can't possibly draw the eyes of the entire city.
No,
all the way to the
no.
lodge.
there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Well, and if we do, it might point us in the right direction.
Yeah. And if I have to stay away from official business just because I'm conspicuous and Chauncey is conspicuous, we can figure that out.
We'll
We'll be
find
fine.
Okay.
Oh,
At this
boy.
point, the ship has made its way into a comparatively narrow channel now, where there's hardly enough room on either side for a smaller vessel, much less another ship of this size to come in. You can see now to the left, it appears mostly to be the buildings seem less housing and more industrial, and you can see a 3-story square building with a glass dome on the top. That, as the locksharper comes up to, gives way to a large dock area. It widens out from the channel that you are in to where seems to be just as wide as the locks that you had just used. You, in fact, see another smaller ship, still masted, but about half the size of the lock jumper, that is tied up, and you can see some folks loading or offloading some cages, and inside looks like there's some lobsters or something. As the ship comes up, you hear the cries from the surrounding area.
Need apples! Fresh fish, get it while it's still flapping!
Are those people trying to sell us things?
Yes. Yeah. That's why they're yelling. And it scared me too, so.
As we
I
kind
will
of pull into
spend
this
my money.
smaller channel, GM, can I keep an eye out for any signage of the Claverton Mill?
Claverton, absolutely. Give me a perception.
I'm still suspicious of those bitches. You said perception?
Yeah.
No, the vendor flower.
You're looking around for like symbols of the Claverton Mill. up
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
or-
yeah.
Sure.
Anything that connects the dots between Rivers Meet and here.
Sure.
Starting with the Clavertons, that's pretty damn good. That's a 23.
23. Looking around here and the industrial sections that you're seeing, you did notice the symbol of the Claverton Mill on one of the sort of warehouses.
Okay.
There aren't many of them. You passed maybe 4 little warehouses before getting to this more massive square structure. But you did notice the logo of the Claverton Mill on one of them.
And remind me, Clavertons are based out of here in Venture? Or somewhere else? Did we ever figure that out?
I believe,
Yeah, you have it written down somewhere.
Yeah, I believe you recall Marius talking about how they are headquartered in Venture.
Okay.
But they work all around. They
Yeah.
pretty much have the monopoly on construction.
Right.
goods.
Rivers Meet was kind of one of their off-branch
Mhm.
places. Okay, cool. Just want to clock that in case where it is, in case we ever need to know. Okay, thank you.
I was just thinking, I wish I had Pal in real life because he'd be able to like just
I
point
know.
me right to the-
Go
But,
back to my
but
notes.
then I flipped
And
to
he
the
did
right
it.
page.
Hey!
Just right there, Claverton Mills.
Pal is there for
He's
you.
not in spirit. Just all I have written is Monopoly on trades.
There.
Yeah.
Good.
Great.
Okay, cool.
Point both Hutch and Jeffrin have jumped ship onto the docks and are beginning to fly the lock jumper. As the ship comes to a halt, the captain leaves the helm, jumps down, and he himself ties off the last part of the sail. As it seems your journey has come to an end.
I'm gonna go up to the captain. I'm gonna go help with getting our stuff ready, but thank you for getting us up here safely.
It was the least I could do. In fact, it was exactly what I needed to do. My job.
Your job.
But you're welcome. I hope that it was a safe journey for all. Well, let me
You know
rephrase
what?
this. Can I say I'm just so used to the same old speech. Thank you for everything, and you're always welcome aboard my ship.
Do you ever need anything? I don't know how you contact us, but do.
I imagine we won't be hard to find while we're here.
Should anything else come up along the river, along your journey, similar to what you experienced, please don't hesitate to reach out. It is still a concerning matter.
if you ever need to find me, typically when the lock jumper's not up here in Venture, we'll be down at the River District. Got a berth there.
Do you have any lodging recommendations?
Oh yeah, looking for a place to stay.
Yeah.
What sort of are you looking for? Are you looking for higher end, lower end?
Probably like middle of the road, out of the way.
Middle of the road. Something lively, though. We want to experience what the people are like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something definitely in town, but it doesn't have to. Clean, but not fancy.
Clean but not fancy.
It's good.
Well, it's more so in the center of town. It right off of the market district here. But there's always the Tired Tinker. That is, if you're looking for a place that is gonna get you the atmosphere of the town, you're pretty much in the center.
That feels apropos.
Yeah.
That's what I
Tired
say.
Tinker.
If you are looking for something a little more quiet, a little more laid back, I've heard good things of the Kickback.
And just to round things out, if we really wanted to stir up some.
Stirrups. I don't know if I can.
Come on, you're a
Condone
sailor. You've got to know someplace. I say with a very wry smile. I'm not really trying to like twist his arm, but
Give me a persuasion check.
a little jib jab with a 6. I'm laying it on pretty thick.
All right, look, if you're looking to get a fun drink up here, there's Off the Rails, and I wouldn't cause any trouble there, but it's fun. But if you were looking for maybe the seedier side of stuff, I'd go down to the river district. It's no slums by any means, but it's definitely it's the working class place.
Sure.
No judgment. But I want to have the knowledge of the town, so thank you for that.
You have your next departure date planned already.
I gotta check in with the Silver Palm, see if they have anything for me to go on. So I'll be popping over there as he gestures over to the square building with the glass dome.
Oh, I think we know where we're going.
Cool. Okay.
So that'll be my next trip over.
Sure.
But if I don't have anything to do after that, then it's down to the berth, and if I have any time off, then it's wherever I want to go.
Fairwinds to you if we don't cross paths before that.
And to you.
I hope we do.
So do I.
I would say it's a small town, but it is
You'd
not.
be a liar.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll cross paths. We can buy you a drink for the safe journey.
If you do want to share a drink, like I said, you can see about finding me be in the Docks District or the River District. My stay up here is pretty quick.
Sure. We have ways to get off. Yeah.
Sure you do.
One last inquiry, if you don't mind, Captain. Do you happen to have the name of the overseer of Venture?
Oh, what's his name? It's an elven man. That's all I've got for you.
Insight check.
Definitely.
Natural 20
Natural.
Oh my god.
for 27.
It's 227
Uh-huh.
Wow. Seems to be telling the truth. You get this sense of just not a disdain and not an active avoidance, but just Doesn't bother
Doesn't
him.
matter. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, is he like? I was trying to pick up like, is he a little like embarrassed? Is it something that he should know, or like?
No,
but,
more
he's-
of just racking his
different?
brain, going, I know it's an elf.
Mhm.
Is that one guy?
Uh-huh.
That's all. That's what I got.
Okay.
Lady Elaine will.
Possible.
Or
Yeah.
that or Claudine should know.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
She works here.
Yeah.
Probably has to deal with at least information from the overseer.
Mhm.
We're not responsible for Zachary, right?
No.
Okay.
He knows where he's going.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he knows whom he's supposed to meet. Does he know where he's going?
That's a great question.
I'll leave that to you two.
Okay.
Shut up. Shut
Good
up.
choice.
As if on cue. Looking about, you see Zachary with his sack over his shoulder going, all right, well, where are we going?
Oh, sir.
Do you know who you're supposed to meet here?
Well, I know my first plan. I know what I originally was going to do, but I don't know. I thought we'd spend a little time together. And
Right, yes. And then together we can go meet Bogdan.
yeah,
Bogdan,
exactly. I could take you to go
okay.
meet Bogdan.
Do you
That
know,
would be
Do you know where
great.
he is?
I do.
Oh.
It's
Hmm.
going to be a longer trip than I thought.
Okay.
We're roughly a lot higher up than where he is right now.
Oh.
Yeah, or at least his warehouse, his workshop, his.
Down in the river district.
That's what I was told where he is. That he
That's
works down there.
fine.
We can
We have-
absolutely make sure that you get there safe. 100%.
That would be great.
I really want to ride on that skytrain. So I think that's how we get down.
Oh,
Wait,
What?
how does that work? Do
You're
you,
asking the wrong person.
I guess it,
Maybe we just fall and then someone saves us.
Is that how that works?
Sounds like fun.
I don't want to do any
Don't,
falling.
don't
you're
listen
not
to any
going to
of
do any falling.
them.
It is going to
Okay.
I
Um,
imagine the Skytram's a lot more like your elevator than the locks were.
Okay. I'm also going to be perfectly honest.
He doesn't know you're coming, does he?
Oh, he definitely no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
he doesn't. No, that's not what I was gonna. I'm afraid of heights.
Oh.
But you.
But oh, you're right. He doesn't know I'm coming.
What?
That no, I was.
Who is Bogdan to you and your mother?
That's an excellent question. Nothing. A name. A
Right.
very
So
you
there's
met
no
him?
connection.
no.
Cool.
No, my goals were get to venture,
Okay.
meet Bogdan, apprentice under Bogdan,
Okay.
and conserve.
Cool. I lied.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mean to, but I did. Okay. We'll find somewhere to stay, and maybe tomorrow we figure out the journey
Down.
to Bodkin.
Okay.
And
I figured I was guessing. Yeah, there looked like there was a bridge.
Uh-huh.
Right?
I'm sure we can inquire wherever we are
Yeah.
staying.
I was thinking I'd just ask the captain if I could just stay on the boat.
I
But
will make sure you have some place to stay.
okay.
We're gonna find a spot. You
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
You
have
can
money.
come with us.
I'm not.
That's
I'm not that unprepared.
I didn't have any
That's
money when I
You're,
got here, though. So it's
Just a
expensive.
plucky young chap with a dream, and you wanted to leave home and chase it. That's fine.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't have to have everything planned out ahead of you.
Should I be insulted? I'm not sure if.
No,
no.
I'm speaking from experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, current experience.
How old are you?
16.
16? That's fair. You know, I was I was younger than you when I started training for things, so you've got,
Finn
plenty
was
of
just
time.
your age.
3 years ago. Come on.
I'm so sorry.
So was I.
Okay.
Actually, I'm younger.
Wait, what?
No, my folk age differently. It's fine.
Right. I know that's the thing. This is also my first time out of Gladen, so
It's fine.
I am
Will-
not so very confused.
You can follow us for a bit,
cool, great.
And
That's wonderful.
and then we
It
should.
makes me feel a lot better.
Yes, we won't leave you all by your lonesome.
Okay.
And then we'll go find. It's Bodkin, right?
Bodkin.
Okay.
Bod-
Bodkin.
Gilderstrong.
Bargain.
Guilds are strong. Okay, yeah, write that down.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the Gilderstrong Forge.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one of those things that just anytime people were in Gladen, it was this name that kept talking, and I would start asking people about it. I guess he's a really good blacksmith, and so that was the plan. It's the good blacksmith, go apprentice with him.
Okay.
People do that, like my mom apprenticed people. Not
Yeah.
me. Other.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I might have to change my message to Delgin.
We can take our time. with that.
Okay.
Right? There's no rush necessarily.
No.
Right?
I just got really excited, but I think I might just have to make a list of things here because the sky tram is also something that I will want to know more about. So maybe I just make a list of those things and then I talk to Delgin when I see him next.
Do you know who else might know?
Who?
Bargain? Gilderstrong?
That's
He must have been involved.
true.
What in what?
I
What were you gonna ask Bogdan?
I wanted to know more about that the ship lift
Yeah,
The lock.
system.
yeah.
And but I'll also want to know about the Skytram, but now I'm you don't have to worry about this. It's fine.
No, it's questions. I like questions.
Yeah.
I want to be there with
And
the
I'm
questions.
gonna try to get answers, but they might not come right now.
That's what learning is.
Yeah.
And
You're already so wise.
this is really our first trip away from home, at least for me as well.
Yeah.
And I know what the homesickness can feel like. So we were thinking for our first stop, we could actually just purchase one of those barrels of the beautiful cider from Glen.
Oh.
A little taste of home.
Yeah.
So that's where we were heading.
That probably. It's gonna be.
I'll tell you the same
Is
thing
there
I
a
told
drinking age?
Oh my god.
It's Europe rules.
Very
guess-
similar. Yeah. It's
What's wrong?
mid-teen to high
Sure,
is
okay.
fine.
I'm like, if I can drink, he can probably
Yes.
drink. Okay.
Yeah, but you like
Right.
were
It's
walking when
different.
you were
Yeah.
born, yeah.
Dragonborn, right when you're born. Here, drink up.
Yeah. I mean,
Take a shot out of your shell.
yeah.
No.
Why not?
Find out the green dragon.
No matter what, you'll be fine. We'll look after you for a little bit.
Just stay close and don't.
And as you say that, you hear a gentle voice from within. I think they're going to take excellent care of you. As Lady Elaine steps up, they seem quite capable. She kind of tussles his hair a little bit.
It's cute.
I love this boat full of people.
I know. I'm sure you've made this journey many a time, so it's less fascinating to you, but that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
It is incredible, isn't it?
Do you know more about who made it?
I know a bit of the history. I know that when the city was first founded, it was essentially a gift from the Melos as a way to show that they cared about the outer cities as well.
So it was fully the Melos. Did they make the Skytram too?
You know, I actually haven't asked about that one.
Okay.
tram's a little newer. There's lots of people with lots of brilliant and crazy ideas out and about.
Maybe Bodkin will know about that one.
Probably.
Okay. Sorry,
There's a lot
I
to learn.
got really excited.
It's easy to do.
It's quite a gift.
Yeah, but it shakes a little bit in the wind as you turn around. Claudine. Well, back to business, if you'll excuse me, everyone. Welcome to Venture, yada, yada, yada. Please, watch your step as you come off.
Thank you. Are you headed to the Silver Palm now?
I'm supposed... No, I'm overseeing the delivery of everything, and, yes.
We're going to inquire about purchasing one of those barrels. Should we
Yes.
wait for you, or should we?
No, he should be here any moment now. It's, good. Yep, there he is now. And she points over, and you can see a slender, sort of darker-skinned gentleman with bald head and a bit of a mustache, with a form-fitting robe that is tans and grays. And he has a rather large ledger in one hand as he's walking towards the boat with kind of a much larger form of an orc next to him. He was in a full leather top. You can see a couple of daggers sticking out on the vest. They seem less of a fight and dagger and more of a cutting ropes and prying things open pools, and two other figures in rather plain clothes following behind them. Yep, that's gonna be the man. If you can talk to him after I've talked to him, but then go about your business and whatnot.
Right, and whatnot.
She puffs away pretty quickly.
So pleasant.
Yeah, business Claudine is something else.
I mean, I feel bad. She was trying to have a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder
getting
if-
interrupted when you're trying to, get all restful and stuff is not fun.
Yeah.
Still more pleasant than Brody.
Oh,
Brody. He was just sleepy.
So tired all the time.
Maybe he needed a vacation.
As Claudine heads towards the side rail, the gangplank is flipped down. And as it comes down, you look over, you can see a well-dressed gentleman, a very large gray beard and a curled mustache, has a fancy brimmed hat on. He seems to be wearing day clothes, but elegant wear, and he is carrying a large bouquet of flowers.
Oh.
And you just hear, Elaine, my darling, it's so good to see you. And with that, we're going to take our break, everyone.
my god.
We're going to be right back, everyone. We're going to take a 10-minute break to find out who this dandy gentleman is.
Dandy Fop.
We'll see you. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I'm so excited.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed your break. We are back at it again. Before we dive any more into this, really quick, we just want to say thank you so much for being here. If you are enjoying our show, please consider giving us a like, a follow, a subscribe, whichever platform you are watching or listening to us on. If you would like to help support the channel in any other ways, you can head on over to our Patreon. And if you are on Twitch, you can subscribe over there. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free. And the reason that I bring this up is because if you are a subscriber or a patron of ours, you get some behind-the-scenes perks over in our Discord for our other shows, as well as this show. But you also get to hang out in our after-show hangout in our Discord, where you get to watch all of us chat. And I will be showing the players a quick glimpse at the map of Venture.
No.
So if you want to see that, just a quick,
She's just gonna go like this.
a quick peek, so you can get like a sense of scale, but not
No
not-
secret.
And definitely nobody in our audience should screen cap that, and then
No. Well, cameras will be off for that. But with that being said,
Just want to know what the theme park looks like.
Where is the water slide?
we went up it.
that is that's under the bridge where it's just 600 feet straight down.
Where's Circus Circus?
Hmm?
Where's Circus Circus? Where's New York, New York?
Yeah.
So,
Where's Dandy Pop?
Yes, who is the standing pop?
I know.
as you have now come to dock in the port of Venture in the Upper District, there is an incredibly well-fashioned gentleman with a fancy cap and an incredibly fancy mustache
We're all ready.
and a very fancy set of flowers. Says, Elaine, my love, it is so wonderful to see you again. I have to know everything. And as Elaine walks down the gangplank,
Yeah, I need to get a read
Yeah.
Insight check.
on both of them. I need to.
I must know what she's thinking as she walks down the door.
feel free, insight check, preemptive insight
Preemptive
check.
all around.
All around.
All around.
Uh, 15.
Not
Yeah.
Also a 15.
Also a 15.
7.
If we could all stop rolling the same shit, that'd be great.
16.
16.
Six.
Up.
My passive is better than what I just rolled.
Me too.
15, or so 15.
15. 15.
7.
16.
Okay.
You rolled a 15. So being 60.
As Lady Elaine walks down, large smile on her face. She says, Janab, it has been...
I'm sorry, what?
Janab.
Jana.
Janab.
He would.
It has been hardly 2 weeks, which says, and that is exactly 10 days longer than I would ever like for it to be, my dear. As he hands her the bouquet. I'm sure that we'll have plenty to talk about this evening. You can see the smile on her face. Those of you with a 15, this is a well-trained smile, but not a place of dislike.
Okay.
And you definitely pick up that she seems to like him well enough, but it is a put-on smile as well.
It's like public facing.
Can I? This is kind of reaching into like overall social aspects of Jadek that I'm still trying to compare to growing up.
Prepare that history check.
Is she wearing any? Have we would have noticed in passing any type of significance of betrothal or companionship or anything like that? Anything with a J on it? Anything like? Do the Jadekians also wear wedding bands or bracelets or any type of symbolism like that that my parents would have worn that
Of
could
course.
translate?
I mean, wedding bands are a common thing, very similar to modern culture in our world. But if you would like, you can give me a quick perception check. You don't recall
She ain't got a rock.
your call. Do you want this to be Now we'll have this be a perception.
Sure.
Oh no.
5.
In this angle, her hands are obscured.
Yeah.
Especially as they now hold this massive bouquet of flowers.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to go up to her real
Mhm.
quick. I wasn't expecting that.
She's at the base of the gangplank now on the dock.
I'll walk down the gangplank towards her. Lady Elaine.
And I met this incredible group of who I would call new friends, Janab. This here is Icon, who they helped to ensure an incredibly safe journey for me, and I cannot thank them enough for this. So, you ensured a safe journey. That tells me that something happened. I knew that something would happen. Elaine, Icon, please tell me everything.
I mean, there was.
Oh, you do go on. I'm sure I will hear everything from the lady.
Yeah, she'll tell you. Sorry, Lady Elaine. I was hoping if we wanted to call upon you, while we're here. I know we're not of your class, most of us.
Please.
Where would we find you?
Well, my home is in. You aren't very familiar with the town, and it would be difficult to exactly point out to you. But darling, mother, these fine friends, they. You must invite them, please. It was because of them that I was able to bring home with my diary. Is that? You mean to tell me that there were thieves So, Icon,
Yes.
did you see to the safety of my lady?
We definitely saw to the safety of your lady.
And your friends as well?
Oh, very much so.
Oh, that's a rather large group. Well, I must insist that should... we will be having a dinner event in my home in the next 2 evenings. As if you head... was to say...
Oh, in the next 2 years.
Yeah, no,
I was like,
I throw a lavish party, but I don't throw that lavish. If you head towards the main gate, there's the garden district by the main gate, and in there, the largest of the estates.
Oh, okay.
Come a ringing, we will ensure that you have a seat at our table.
Oh, wonderful. We'll be there.
Fantastic. 2 nights. I insist to toughen out.
Yes, is there a
Please,
dress code?
please. They walk away. You must tell me everything about this scandal that has happened.
I just turned back around to everybody.
Just
No.
okay.
I like this place.
As they walk away, you hear a moment of,
okay, well,
Love it.
we have the money that she gave us in 2 days to maybe find more fancy garb,
I guess.
or at least slightly.
Oh no.
Don't
I
worry,
know.
Dorothy. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, we visited the overseer.
Yeah, no, this seemed different. This invitation seemed different.
There's
Clean
gonna
and
be
presentable
other.
is the best place to start.
Yeah.
Clean
There's
and
gonna be
presentable.
Jan.
What
That's me. Me? Scott? Can I take a quick, just the world's quickest pan about the street?
mm-hmm.
Do I stand out with my clothing? Is anyone dressed like me at all?
I won't even give you a perception check for this one. Standing out, there is an assortment. It's not.
Yeah.
Janab was very clearly the fanciest person about.
Yeah.
But you can see an array of working class folk. Most everyone up here seems fairly clean cut. Everything from your commoner's clothes to like mid-ranged fine wear.
Okay.
The people that you are seeing are bustling about with purpose, but some are also taking their time. So there is a mixture of everything going on. You definitely feel as though your clothing and icons have that more sense of being from out in the world, whereas this is in a city.
Okay.
So you stand out, but not in the way that there's not a big sign over your head.
Okay.
We're cottagecore, and everyone else is like New York fashion.
Yeah.
But I will say, actually, give me a perception check.
Oh, it's a 10.
10. Looking about, you see people of all sorts of different heritages, different backgrounds, different ancestry, and it is a rainbow of color in the people who are here. And there are some pale-skinned folks, but you are definitely the palest person.
Similar but different question. Are there dragon folk around?
Looking about, you know Dragonborn are of the rarer species,
Right.
but they are rare for a commonplace thing.
Right.
And looking around, you don't see any milling about in the central market here.
Okay.
Oh, so we're in the central market now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I see. Okay. Piecing it together.
Are we going to export the barrels to Silver Palm?
No, I think Claudine's taking care of that, but we should, take our
We can
part
at
in
least
that direction.
We could
Yeah.
buy one.
buy one and then also see if we can touch base with the seller and see if they have sold it already, and if so, where.
Great.
And then we'll know, and no one was, poking around at it. So, if anything, is going wrong with it, it's going wrong here.
Well, here begins their concern. Once it leaves the boat, something's
Something's
gone
wrong,
awry.
so-
I kind of want to huddle everybody, make sure that Claudine or any of the captain kind of don't
And-
overhear any of this.
Push Zach out.
Yeah.
Have you kind of come back up onto the deck of the ship, or
We might be better served discreetly tailing whoever takes the casks from here to their storage facility. We don't want to lose any information
Right.
for the benefit of the cidery.
With our Chauncey drawn cart.
I feel like you would be the best for that job,
I don't think
because I
the
feel
whole
like
group
the rest of
us
us are fairly conspicuous.
at this point, as you are all chatting, there are workers who seem to be coming onto the deck now, and they have opened up the hatchway on the deck and are beginning to unload cargo. They're lifting up. We've got lots of lumber that's being hoisted out. But you know that the casks are part of that.
We could split. I know we already agreed not to do that, but you could tail, we could buy.
Well, Claudine made it seem like there was somebody present to receive the shipment here,
Right.
that is going to move it to its holding facility.
Right.
Whether that's the person purchasing it or if that's simply a representative from the Silver Palm acting as as transport, that is still to be discerned. However, if we have personal desire to make this purchase, we need to make contact at some point in that regard. So why don't we introduce ourselves to this individual receiving from the Silver Palm and see if this transaction needs to occur personally. If not, then perhaps it will need to be bought.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
And Claudine had identified that orcish gentleman as the next buyer, or he was just one of the workers.
She never identified the orc. She didn't fully identify the other gentleman, but the
Right.
one that she made direct indication to was the slender, bald
Right,
gentleman.
right.
Yeah, so I think as soon as I see dock workers beginning to unload cargo, I'll specifically keep an eye for when and how those cider casks are offloaded, and if I can try and work my way either down to the gangplank or over the rail close enough to overhear any conversation regarding the casks, I would like to do that.
Sure.
Passively or actively.
So you make your way over to the rail. Claudine is talking to the gentleman in the slender gentleman in the robes and the bald head. They seem to be chatting. If you'd like, you can give me a perception.
That is a 17.
17. Excellent. Seems midway through the conversation, saying, there's some talk of perhaps these being in danger or something. I don't know. The ones on the deck had something to say about it. But seems as though they might be interested in making an offer or something. So are we
She's so
finished here?
Yawned over it.
And the gentleman says, it's perfectly all right. I will speak to them and see if there is anything that I can do for them. Otherwise, you seem done with this. Go ahead, report back to Verkin, and we'll see you the next time. Thank you. And Claudine wanders on. Sorry, Vecrin.
Sorry.
Vecrin.
Do we get the sense that the cart will be hoisted off the ship, or we're pulling it down the gangplank? It's below deck, right? Or is
No,
it-
the cart is on deck.
Okay, it's on,
cask-
but on the lower.
The
of
casks were below deck.
That's
uh,
right.
And memory serves, I think the cart was hoisted up onto the deck
Right.
last time.
I look around. Do we see a crane? Or
You see a
similar?
very similar construction that was at Wayland's Wait House.
I suppose we can disembark and wait for the cart and Chauncey.
Okay.
We can get the harness ready.
Yeah.
So I'll then. Did Aaron come back up, or? he's still-
Would you say I was able to overhear that from on deck, or okay, yeah.
Okay,
I kind of once I saw her walk off, I kind of walked her back over to the group and rejoined.
Well, shall we?
Yeah. Deliver the payload.
Well,
Gather your things, check under bunks, turn over the hammocks. Yeah. Don't forget anything behind me. Come back.
I had all my stuff brought up with me already, so I'll
Not
just like
fixing my
tighten the
pack
straps on the
anymore.
back and head down the gangplank.
All right. Yeah. As you walk down the gangplank, the gentleman is there. He has his ledger. Just watching the workers. As you make your way towards the gangplank, you actually kind of have to thread your way in between a couple of gentlemen coming up, a couple carrying down. They've now actually started getting to the casks and are rolling them down the plank. And just one wants to just seems focused on the work.
As we make our way down and the casks are being rolled down, I'd like to cast Detect Poison and Disease. It's a 30-foot radius, and you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. And you can also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. And it says it can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay.
How much shit though?
So specifically focusing on like the barrels, or
Specifically on the barrels, but if I pick it up anywhere nearby, I'd like to know.
yeah, yeah. Where you're standing, looking about Doesn't appear to be any poisons or disease that are popping up.
I was worried, Zachary. He was gonna be our Make-A-Wish.
Oh,
You do detect
Zachary
one
is very
poison.
sick.
No, I believe it is on Aaron's person. You are not poisoned.
no.
Is it you that has the small glass vial that you took from the dwarves?
Oh.
That
Oh.
might be true.
I think it is you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right from my other notebook.
I just look over.
There's poison in Finn's or in Aaron's belongings.
Shady. You would. You would. I think to myself. Well, so I'll just wait for our cart to come down and.
I'll keep an eye on the Silver Palm gentleman. Kind of wait until he's not tied up and busy, because I know how that works with Claudine. So
It doesn't seem to be talking to anyone, just observing everything that's going
right,
on.
but I don't want to distract his tally making.
At one point, Hutch comes down, gives a nod to you all, and heads on over to the. There's a gentleman who seems to be operating the crane, and he takes him aside, chats with him, points up at the deck, and then points very clearly to you all, and walks back up, and goes on the gangplank and heads on over to your cart.
Hope he's not curious.
At this point, I don't know what we'd even say. Found it.
Technically true.
Yeah.
Very quickly, the cart is lifted and swung over with a speed that the cart does have a moment of kind of a sway, then is lowered on to the dock. Where I say dock, it is all stone. It is cobblestone and a similar reinforced walkway that you saw on the eastern or the western bank. No, eastern. That's the right direction. The river district.
Yeah.
Now that you have a name for it.
Okay.
Honest up, Chauncey, and we wait for him. Sure.
Get him all ready.
As you're harnessing up Chauncey, the workload seems to be subsiding. It takes a little bit of time. Eventually, and closes his ledger. Well, was it any of you that was interested in maybe making a purchase from us? Interested in these casks, was it?
Indeed. We actually just came from Gladen, and we've already drank through our supply, and we're hoping to get a little bit more.
Well, fantastic. Were we looking at the entire collection of the 12, or were we thinking of something a little bit...
This might be a little out of our price range. How much for just one of the casks?
It is... You would be looking at with 60 gallons in each casket. Silver gallon. It's going to be 30 gold pieces for a single one. Now, that is also going to be including then our purchaser fee, which will then be bringing that to 33.
Oh. If we just wanted, like, a glass of it or a couple of glasses.
If you're looking to imbibe, then you will need to be finding whoever it is that is purchasing these for the distribution and consuming. This is purely from buying in wholesale, if you will.
Do you have a regular buyer for this?
We at this moment do not. They are going to be going up to auction in here soon. Essentially, whoever is interested will have the time to come and see what they have available, and pick up from there.
Well, we can personally vouch for it. It is delicious. So
Personal vouching is noted but not required. It is Mistfall cidery, and we know what we have from them.
Is this
There- Okay,
is this auction invite only or open to the public?
that's what I was going
It is open to the public. It is more of a placing of an offer. This is not, as you would see, a typical sort of auction. This is, you see what this is what it is worth, and you tell us that you would like to buy it for this. And then if somebody outbids you, well, come back and keep talking to us.
Is there much competition for the Mistfall cider?
Not the last I saw, but times change.
Right.
Okay.
The minimum buy price for the 12 casks is going to be the 410 gold pieces. I would like to sell this as a lot, but they're willing to break it apart.
Would
Oh.
we be able to attend the auction to see who may buy it?
It is an open. Think of it more of a listing. You come
Okay.
and you see if there is what.
Is it at the silver?
Yes,
Palm?
all auctions are posted at the Silver Palm,
Okay,
and offers may be made at any time until the auction is closed.
okay.
And if I
Sounds good.
didn't want to wait for auction, could purchase one now, directly from you.
Would wish to purchase one directly from me, single cask. We could see that happening again. That would be for the price of the 33
gold.
Yes.
Right.
Can I
There you are.
insight check?
Hmm.
As this conversation is 33, like where does that balance in terms of
Are you
portioning?
proficient in? Have any art? Art. Are you proficient in brewer's supplies?
Nope.
Okay. You can give me a history check at disadvantage if you're trying to figure out is this a fair price. But if you're trying to see how he's speaking about this, then you could do an insight.
Yeah, I definitely want a history check just to see like over time maybe somebody's mentioned, price of a barrel of ale or wine or on a larger scale. So history it is it's a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Judging the price of a barrel of ale is tough, especially if you've never really been in the market for this before.
Okay.
But you did mention him say 60 gallons.
Mhm.
It's a lot
It's a
lot of
of
cider.
gallons.
Doesn't seem unreasonable.
I'm not particularly interested in getting in any kind of bidding wars, and I don't think I can afford the whole lot either way. So
Well, let me be perfectly clear. This that I am accepting from you. This is an offer that you're making here that I will post to our board, and if accepted by the Silver Palm, then you will be notified and delivery will be made.
I see. So I couldn't walk away with it.
No, I
The
must
car's
take-
right here. The bell's right here.
And the warehouse is right there that I must take this to complete delivery of these.
See. Then, in that case, anytime between now and the public offer, is that offer still on the table?
It is on the table until it is sold.
Right.
Did we just set the price at 33? Because we're the first interested buyer.
I think that's. I mean, honestly, that's
Yeah.
good. Let's go on.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Not gonna say much anything else.
So a down payment then.
I will be taking no money. This is simply a promise. But just know if you make an offer and you have no intention on fulfilling that, future offers will have, let us say, consequences.
Speaking of consequences, there has been word from Gladen. Something is happening with these barrels. Something days after they arrive or upon arrival.
That is, there is a disclaimer of buyer beware. We cannot guarantee the quality. We are simply delivering what was given to us.
And as it sits in the warehouse,
That is where it is stored.
Mhm.
Let me assure you, we are the warehouse for the Silver Palm is well protected.
I believe that. Well, in that case, I don't know if I can put down money for something I can't have now.
Are you wishing to remove your bid, your offer?
just kind of look to the rest of the party and try to gauge, like, can I insight check the whole party?
You could just
Who's giving me eye signals?
Yeah, I say,
Just kind of
why
when
not?
you look over me, I just go.
Fine. All right. I'll make the offer.
All right. May I have a name, please?
Finn. De
Finn.
Morgan.
In the Morgan. Very good. And
And your name?
yes. I am Umar. Umar Duskring.
Right, Umar. Will you be facilitating this deal upon the offer?
As a clerk of the Silver Palm, yes.
Excellent. All right. Well, you said 2 days' time, or?
If this offer is accepted, then it will be closed. This single cask will be closed as of this evening. Please check in with the Silver Palm this evening.
Okay, we can do that. Thank you, Umar, for your time.
It has been a pleasure doing business with you, and I hope that you receive this bid.
I
that
do
he
too.
takes his ledger, nods at the orc who is. As you look over, he's over your shoulder, not directly behind you, but a couple away, and you didn't feel his presence. But as you look and you see him, then you suddenly feel his presence.
Oh,
And nods, and they walk towards the large square structure.
This is a very odd way of doing business.
Yeah.
Getting things.
Is Umar Dusk what?
Umar Duskring.
Duskrim.
Yeah, there's a lot of machinations happening here.
Everyone's so serious.
I feel weird owing money for something I don't have.
I mean,
It's a verbal agreement at the moment.
They made it sound like it was a pretty stern agreement.
if your bid is accepted, you're gonna have 60 gallons of
Yeah.
cider.
Potentially tainted cider.
It could be. But what do we need 60 gallons of cider for?
We don't. We don't need the cider, we need the proof. The evidence.
You know what we could do if it turns out to be totally fine is if we could give it to a teacher for Zachary
Oh,
as like a thank you.
Or a
For
bribe.
taking this child.
That is quite the bribe.
I mean,
maybe we get a whole plaque dedicated to us or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't
you know, it doesn't hurt to have, and we can figure out what to do with it later, but
It makes a sort of sense to me. Do you
Yeah.
know? Hey, we are coming into your home. We are bringing you something nice. It is
Also-
this much.
yeah.
Here's a child.
Yeah. Here you go.
We should.
Zachary.
Yeah?
I think we're gonna find our way into
Okay.
the city.
We'll hit the Silver Pond this evening.
We're gonna what? The Silver Palm this evening?
We're going to go visit.
This visit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, city slang.
Right. Okay. Do we know where the tired tinkerer is?
I don't.
Okay.
Let's go.
Is the
ask some-
cap?
Central.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right near here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's close.
All right. We'll wander.
Could ask somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not in any particular hurry. I'm going to, at that note, go down to the cart and just sort of make sure everything is in place and everything and start to get ready to go.
All right. Looking about the cart, it looks the way that you left it before. Not too jostled from the journey on the river.
Looks like a corpse wrapped up in a tire.
Mhm.
Cool. Good.
For like 3 times.
Can I just go bug one of the dock hands? Just ask quick directions to the tired tinker.
Sure. Popping up to one of the dock hands. The crane worker seems to be there, kind of leaned up against it, taking a moment to himself. Oh, hello. Yeah.
Just please, if you could, I know you are. There's lots to unload today. Could you just point us in the direction of the Tired Tinker? We were told there would be lodging for us there.
Oh, yeah. Tired Tinker. That's gonna be if you just take this channel and follow that down. You'll see where it does a quick zigzag, and it's the 2-story on the top of the zig. Not quite the zag.
Zig, don't sag. Understood. Thank you.
And as he points, you can see he points essentially where you landed on the ship, farther in, and you can see where the man-made river had split, and the ship had gone forward and arced to the left. He points over, and you can see it's now narrowed, and this channel is now going farther in to the city itself.
Cool. Wow. Okay. Okay. Talk on that. Thank you, and wonderful work. Continue on. Wonderful.
Made that guy's day.
I'll just head back to okay, yeah. Pretty standard fare, though seems the town doesn't necessarily operate on the cardinal directions. So stick to me. Stick to me.
Cool.
I'm going to hop up into the back of the cart. Surely, if there is the room for me, and also the,
The thing?
body.
Yes. So there is room for the wrap, and then another person to sit beside it, along with then the riding carriage section of it, where you would command Chauncey. Yeah.
Because Chauncey can pull 2 of us on the cart. We established that before, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sit with Duathy so I can observe and also try to reformat this note to Delgin.
I'm going to sort of in the back, sort of duck down a little bit though, so I can still see, but I'm sort of ducked down into the bottom of it a little bit.
And do what now?
Duck down into the bottom of it a little bit.
Okay. Kind of nestling in to the bottom of the cart here.
But I can still see. Just
You absolutely can. Yeah,
Sort
it's a flatbed. There's not really a top up on the back.
Oh, okay. There's not a ledge around it keeping things in.
On the sides there are.
That's
yes.
sort of
Yeah.
where I'm going to be.
All right.
I'd like to walk alongside the cart and kind of like duck down so I'm about eye level with Duathy as I walk. And are you shy, Duathy? This is a new look for you.
No, not particularly. I just,
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
Just wait till you get to Saris Manor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing like the locks there, but scale-wise, it's this, and then 8 more layers on top.
Well, let's not freak her out.
Just helping you. This is
Just
Give her time to absorb this place first.
this is a good warm-up.
it is all good. I'm fine.
Okay.
Good. I'll fall back a little bit.
That
Leave them
you
be.
take the cart down 2 pathways that you can see that there is a bit of method to the madness. There are not necessarily blocks, but there are streets that will wind and turn, but most of the buildings seem to be built in a square structure until you get to the river itself, or the channel as it was described. And you can see it's barely wide enough for the lock jumper to have been able to fit down. But on the other side, more houses. But from here, you can see a bridge that goes from the central market area to a much larger, seems to be a more open air market. And following along this pathway, there's a bit of a cobblestone walkway on either side, so you can follow the channel. As you pass over, you don't cross the bridge, but you pass beyond it, staying on this side. The road winds and turns a little bit with the waterway. As you pass now less market stalls and more artisan huts and houses. You can see a glass blower in one working on some pieces and rows of goblets lining a window until the river comes to, or the channel comes to a sharp turn. And you follow it along. You then see a seamstress working away at some clothing on a mannequin through one window. You see a gem crafter working away at a lock case that seems to have some sparkly objects in it.
Mm.
And then as the channel zags, you can see at the end a little 2-story structure that has a little gear on it that is softly just turning away. And the sign reads, "The Tired Tinker."
That's it. Almost second nature as we're walking down. My book's open, mage hands, and it's just kind of charting, making notes. The seamstress, the gems crafter, just so I have a rough map of the places we go.
Give me a. Are you proficient with cartographer's tools?
No, not at all. This is just my methods.
All right. I'll say you'll have a map.
Yeah. It's not gonna be to scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You
not
have
there.
your own personal sketches.
Yeah.
I want to keep an eye out. I'm kind of like taking point just ahead of Chauncey, and I want to keep an eye out for any thieves' camps.
Sure.
I know it's a short walk,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like a prime area to have either specific nefarious symbology, or I want to take a look. Is there any like guild symbols, specific like union symbols among these artisans?
So at this point, you've already gotten to the tinker.
Okay, cool.
But
Along the way, so I've been looking for some of those specific.
I think at this point you've already gotten to
Okay,
the tinker.
cool. I'll clock that as something to do later.
But definitely lots of places. You recall thinking, yeah, there's a lot that could be had here.
Yeah.
And many places for things to be hiding.
Sure.
The Tired Tinker itself has a brick structure to it. It has nice sort of red brick to it and large glass windows on the front. It is overlooking the channel, where you can see a couple of little long rowboats, not dissimilar to the metal one that you recently come across,
Okay.
that are tied up to the side there. It's actually at one point the door to the Tired Tinker opens, and you hear the instead of the ringing of a bell, you hear the whistling of a bird. As a couple kind of walk out, doesn't sound rowdy from the inside. The door closes, and this couple walks over, gets in. It appears to be a couple of halflings, and they hop down into this little boat, untie it, and push away and begin rowing deeper into the city.
Yeah, definitely taking the river down that later.
I'll walk up to the door of a Tired Tinker and open it and gesture to my friends.
I will come inside.
And as it opens, you hear the whistling of a bird, and as you look up, you actually see a small mechanical bird as it flutters around. It's like a little cuckoo clock by the front door.
Swathy, look at this.
Silver's really left that mark all over this place.
Right, well, this is a good choice. I mean, bird, already great atmosphere.
Yes, I can see why my town wanted the attention of the order now.
This is what you get.
Yeah.
This explains why my dad thought gifts would buy my affection.
As the door opens, there are a smattering of small tables. The interior of the tavern has a lot of brassware. and some. It has a very metallic feel to the inside, but a warm metal. And though there is a bright sun in the mid to late afternoon of the day, the room itself is not hot. Just has a warm energy to it. You can see a smattering of folks that are enjoying some drinks, while up at the bar, you see putting a bottle away on the bar behind, the scaled and clawed hand of a dragonborn. That the bottle is on the wall, and he pulls a bit of chain. The whole wall begins to as more shelves of liquor come behind. As he turns around, sees you all, and there's a smile. He gives a little bit of smoke comes out of his nostrils. Well, hello there. And with that, we are going to end.
No.
No,
I
people!
want to get her
Have
through.
more
Now it's a
hours, come
kin
on.
hanger.
We'll have an hour more. Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, why not?
Come in, man. Take your lunch money, man.
Shut up. This guy.
Oh, so much to talk about in the post show.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I'm sorry to do it to you all.
Oh,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we could go
not.
forever in this
Lying,
town.
lying.
Just one more street, I swear.
We're going to be back here again next week, everyone. Wednesday, 7 p.m. for another episode of Melos Machina, where our intrepid crew are going to be getting a room, most importantly, and going through and seeing what all is in this town to do, and eventually going to a dinner party.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Our itinerary.
Yeah, it
This.
really blew up.
again, if you are enjoying the show, thank you so much for being here. If you're not enjoying the show, still, thank you so much for being here. You snuck it around this far.
Tell us what we could do better.
You can follow us on all the social medias. You can like, subscribe, and do all of the, and keep listening. If you would like to support us here, you can head on over to our Patreon. And if you are supporting us, be sure to head on over to our Discord now as we go in to our post-show hangout. We'll see you there, everyone. Until then, have a great week. Bye, all.